So when I first ever got into like self-development and that whole niche and stuff, my main way of motivating myself was like I would look at all the people who have quote unquote like made it, and I would look at like, and like this might be completely fucking embarrassing to like admit, but I don't know. This was my sense of motivation. I would look at like really hot guys and I would just like kind of beat my no, hold on, pause. I would like beat myself up to make a change. I'd be like, damn, why can't I be them? Or, like I'd look at guys with like really exciting lifestyles, and I'd look at guys who until I felt so bad about myself that I'm like, all right, I gotta make a change. And when you get into that like self-development niche, like this, it seems like it's something that would work, to fix your problems. And they fix the problems that are very clear, but they don't fix the actual problems that are happening. And so, a lot of us as humans, we want to feel good. We want to feel good about ourselves. We want to have a good internal state. We want to have a good reality. And the trap with self development, especially like in the manosphere, or I don't know, just like self development content in general. I don't know what it's like for women, but at least for the men, I can say, right? It's like it's a very harmful like ideology of just like, oh, if you do this thing right and this thing right and this thing right and fix your life, and you get this type of woman, you get this much money, and if you dress this way, like all your problems will be saved and like you're gonna feel good about yourself. And it's like you think that's gonna be solved and that you're gonna feel good, but there's something that's kind of interesting that happens, and I mean just straight up, it's just that doesn't work. It doesn't actually make you feel better. And maybe right now you're asking, Richie, how would you know? How would you know? Well, as I said, that was my form of motivation before, right? I would look at these like hot, buff, jacked, charismatic like men who were attractive and had exciting lifestyles. And I would beat myself up until like I'm like, damn, I gotta make a change. And it got to a point where I actually did make an amazing change for myself. If you've been following me on social media or anything like that, like you've seen that I'm at 3 million followers on TikTok. I'm like at 600K on Instagram, 200K on YouTube. Got my own amazing girlfriend. Got freedom, clout at fucking 18, 19, and it seems like I should have been having a little internal life, but I recently came to the realization, and like it wasn't even, I just found out that no, I still wasn't feeling fulfilled internally. And it was kind of like, damn, like I have all these things, like I have all the things that I sought out for. Why doesn't this make me feel better? You know? Wow. And that is like a whole crazy conversation we can get into. Maybe we get into this video. God, so many different ways I could take that. It wasn't until about May that I was in this little content creator like house thing, and that video is actually up, if you've seen it. And I realized I had this deep sense of like perfectionism in me that genuinely believed that there was something wrong with me that needed to be fixed. And I think that's crazy. I think a lot of us have that perfectionism in us. Not even perfectionism, but like a lot of us think that there's something inherently wrong with us. And I think that's fucking crazy. The world gets set up, especially capitalism in America, all is designed to make you feel like there's something you need to fix with yourself. And you can try to do all that fixing. You can try to do all that fixing. You can try to get the car, get the money, get the girl, all that stuff. But essentially what happens is, first off, let me tell you, but before I tell you what happens, let me tell you what state you're operating from. When you have that point of view that's like, damn, something's wrong with me, I need to fix myself, like I need to be more buff, I need to be more sexy, I need to be more handsome, like I need to be more rich, I need to have a more exciting lifestyle, you're operating from this place of like shame. You're operating from this place of fear. You're operating from this place of guilt. Something's wrong with me, I need to be better, and if I'm not better, then I'm gonna have a fucked up life. And that is an internal problem. And yes, you have this external reality that reflects that internal problem. But essentially, what was I going to say with that? Oh, essentially, as you try to fix those external problems, you only dig yourself deeper into that hole of shame, of guilt, of fear. Like, you get the girl. Let's say you get the girl. You get the car. You get the exciting lifestyle and all that stuff. And then it gets to a point where that becomes your identity. It becomes, oh, I am the guy with an amazing relationship. I am the guy with an exciting lifestyle. I am the guy with the amazing car. And there's this like unsettling like fear that's just lying in the back of your mind that is like, wait, who am I gonna be without those things? And that's the trap. That's the trap that digs you deeper in that hole. You start worrying about who you would be if those things weren't there. Which, at the end of the day, end of your life, those things aren't going to be in your casket with you when you're buried. Everything fades, everything transitions, and everything is temporary. Everything is borrowed. This human body that you're in is borrowed. And so you're operating from this fear state of just like, damn, like who am I going to be without these things? And that essentially is what fear versus love is to me. Before I kind of get into that, let's talk about the mechanism then, right? If fixing that external solution isn't, or fixing that external world isn't the solution, then what is? What I found that's worked for me, and this is not something that is like, boom, it's fucking like easy. It's it's surrender. Learning to surrender and learning to know that you are going to be okay no matter what. Learning to know that you're not actually in the danger that you think you are in. Learning to know that if you don't get the dream car, like, so what? You're gonna be fine. If you don't get the dream girl, like, so what? Like, the fuck? Knowing that you're gonna be okay no matter what is the way to solve that internal conflict with yourself. Learning to be just okay with everything. And in a sense, like, no, I wouldn't say it's giving up, because if you're interested about like learning a little bit more about this, look up levels of consciousness, not map of consciousness. Look up levels of consciousness, and you'll see that there's like kind of 4 states where like at the very bottom of this triangle, it's like this victimhood mentality. Oh God, like, why does the world have to be this way? Why is the world so cruel? Yada, yada, yada. And then the level 2, which is where I think once you get into that self-development grind and you're like, oh, you know what? There are a lot of things that I can control in this world. Excuse me. you find that there's a lot of things that you can control in this world, and it's like, I'm gonna try to control everything. And the level above that is learning to surrender, learning to be okay with the things that you can't control, learning to know that just like life kind of just flows. And there's that balance between like not being in a victim state because you are controlling the things that you can control, but the things that are out of your control, like you're okay without them. So this is kind of what I mean by like fear versus love. Let's say like you're in a relationship, right? And you're being in the best boyfriend or girlfriend that you could be. There's a difference between doing it because you're afraid of them leaving you. You're like, damn, like I need to be the best boyfriend I can.